Ba-boom. Hello, citizens of Gotham. My name is Graham Elwood, and you are watching the POW Political Vigilante. Look at the PV in the light. Look at it. Look at it. That's Commissioner Gordon telling me it's time to do a segment. One of the things I like about doing this show is, I always say, like, follow the money, connect the dots. And I would expand on the follow the money. I would say, just like, let's get the data, get the stats, get the numbers, right? And the numbers are the numbers. And, the two corrupt political parties and the corporate media, they always try to shuffle the numbers and cook the books or whatever. But the numbers are the numbers, man. I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Hillary. I didn't vote for Biden, and I won't. I'm going to vote. I'm a vote third party no matter what person now, because I'm done with these two parties. And one of the reasons I'm done with them is because, okay, we were told, we just got to get Trump out of there. And when Biden gets in there, he'll build back better, and Bidenomics will be so great. But it's not. Child poverty numbers are up. These stats just came out. This is an article from NPR, pretty liberal, right? Child poverty more than doubles a year after hitting record lows, census data shows. This just came out. The poverty rate in the United States has risen dramatically in a year since the pandemic benefits ran out. And the child poverty rate has more than the U.S. Census Bureau annual data on poverty. Just a year ago, child poverty hit a historic low of 5.2%. The latest figures put it at 0.4, the same as the overall poverty rate. The surge happened as record inflation, a lot of pandemic relief was running out, but census officials and other experts say the key was the child tax credit. 12.4%. This is the thing when they try to say, the recession's not that bad. It's actually really bad. And I'm going to have a guest on our show as a financial psychologist, and he talks about when this is actually being honest. This is being honest about the poverty rate. But when they say, inflation actually has come down, and we're all going to the store. I was talking to my friend who's a financial psychologist that we're going to have on the show. We're working on his schedule. He has a book that came out. He's like, it's actually the American people feel gaslighted when they're told, no, the recession's not that bad. The job numbers are up. The economy is doing good. And they go to their grocery store. They look at their bills. They don't have enough money. They don't have money to go out. They're behind on stuff, or they're racking up debt or whatever. Their savings account is depleted. They don't have money for a vacation, or if they do go on a vacation, they got to put it on credit cards or whatever. I just did a video like a week or so ago talking about spending over the summer was up when most people were just putting it on credit cards. And now child poverty numbers are up. This is just preposterous. And yeah, when unemployment ran out, 2 years ago, September of 2021, there was nothing to replace that. Just open up the economy. We'll all be fine. Everybody go back to work. We'll be fine. That's not enough. And we're sending, I don't know how many billions now. I can't keep track, over to Ukraine. The PPP and the SBA loans for small business owners were not forgiven. If you're a small business owner, you know what I'm talking about. Big Wall Street, they got hundreds of thousands of dollars, some case millions of dollars, some cases 8-figure stimulus money during the pandemic, and they got those forgiven. But small business owners don't. It should be the reverse. The small business owner should have that forgiven. Businesses drive the economy. The big companies, that the money, it's all top of it, all goes to the CEOs and the board of directors, all these people that don't need money. They got theirs forgiven, but we didn't. In 2021, Congress increased the amount of the credit as part of the American Rescue Plan and expanded eligibility to include millions more low-income families. Sharon Parrott, president of the Center for Budget and Policy Priorities, says it was a big factor in initially reducing the poverty rate. We sometimes talk about the child tax credit as being an upside-down policy, she says. That's because the children who need it the most get the least, while higher-income children get more. Oh, good, as long as the rich people are taken care of. Parrott says that means that when pandemic relief ended, millions of families lost out on this credit for their kids because they didn't make enough money. But married couples making hundreds of thousands of dollars per year do get a full child tax credit of $2,000 per child. Oh, this drives me insane. The whole point of these types of tax credits are to benefit working class families. A $2,000 tax credit, if you're barely getting by, that's a lot of money. If you have a mom and a dad making six-figure incomes, all right, two grand tax credit's nice, but it's not like if you don't get it, you can't feed your kids. The working class people don't get it, and now there's a higher child poverty rate. It's maddening. I could breathe for a moment, says Jennifer Beacon, who lives in Bothell, Washington with her 11-year-old. I don't have to sacrifice. I could get everything I needed. My son went to a charter school shirts. I got his haircut, took him to eat with it. It came in handy, kind of like his allowance. Other parents spent the tax credit to pay down debt or on their kids. These aren't frivolous things. School shirts for your kid. Get your kid a haircut so he looks presentable in school. Oh, take your kid out to eat. You should be able to do that. When the tax credit ended, a survey found parents had trouble paying bills and covering basic expenses like rent and groceries. Jackson, who lobbies for foster parents, says she's been doing okay. With inflation driving up prices, though, she feels worse off in some ways than in the height of the pandemic. Honestly, I think the child tax credit would help right now more than ever because everything has doubled. Democrats are pushing it as part of a broader tax negotiation this fall. Several Republicans have their own proposals, generally for smaller credit with work requirements. Last year, Florida Senator Mark said that after the Supreme Court decided to restrict abortion, Republicans needed a pro-family agenda and listed an expanded child tax credit as part of that. At the state level, there's been a lot of action. Oh, whatever, man. Median household income fell, outpaced inflation. Median household income fell by 2.3% last year to $74,580. That's median, meaning usually that's a combination. Lower income workers saw the largest wage gains, but those were outpaced by record inflation. Again, the dollars you're making aren't worth as much because the cost of living is more. That's why I buy Bitcoin. So even with this higher somewhat income, these two utterly corrupt, stupid parties can't even get a tax credit right. And when they did have it, it kind of helped. But then, of course, they get rid of it. Man, if you're an American, you are on your own. If you're rich, you're fine. But if you have any kind of financial trouble, you are on your own, man. You're on your own. Better hope you don't get sick. That's basically what we're told. Don't get sick, man, even if you got insurance. It's debt slavery. It's why these strikes, the Amazon strike, the nurses strike, the teachers strike, the hotel workers strike, the actors strike, the writers strike. That's why these are so important, because we're all fighting the same battles. So I got a lot of videos walking the SAG-AFTRA picket line and the WGA picket line, but I've interviewed nurses and teachers and other people from other unions walking our picket lines with us because they know it's the same battle. We're all in this same battle, and our government doesn't have our back. And this voting for the lesser of two evils, this is what you get when you vote for the lesser of two evils. I'm a vote third party no matter what, because I will not give these two parties my vote. I will not give them my money. And if the Green Party gets more than 5% of the vote in this presidential election, they'll be on all ballots and they'll get more federal funding. That's significant. That's something. Even if we just got some Greens on some state assemblies or one or two Greens in Congress, what that could do. Follow the money, connect the dots, get the truth. Shave your knuckles for justice. Support us. Go to GrahamElwood.com. We have a newsletter at GrahamElwood.com. There's merchandise you can buy. Political Vigilante merchandise. You can get this logo on like a coffee mug and some cool stuff. Drink some hot cups of truth with your breakfast every morning. And I'll be having more tour dates coming up. I'm working on some other like bigger production stuff. So that's why we're not doing as many tour dates. And join the newsletter. And there's also a box if you want to support what we're doing anonymously. Some of you prefer that. And I have a Bitcoin wallet and all that other. There's a lot of great ways. So thanks for watching our show. Like, share, subscribe, and shave your knuckles for justice. Boom.